Hi everyone, this is Ashley with CT Marina Digitals. I'm going to do a tutorial to show you how to use my new smoke shape backdrop overlays in Photoshop. I have opened my image that I want to use. I have opened my overlay that I want to use. So I'm going to go ahead and on my overlay layer or file, select all, edit and copy, and edit and paste into my image. I'm going to go ahead and resize about where I want it to be. It doesn't have to be perfect for now. I'm going to hide that layer. I'm going to click on my background layer and go to my quick selection tool and select subject. Okay, and make sure your selection is pretty good, which mine looks pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and duplicate my background and then create a layer mask. And then I'm going to drag my overlay in between those two layers and turn it back on. Now I'm going to change my layer in order to achieve that transparency. I'm going to change my layer to screen blending mode instead of normal. And now depending on where you place the overlays in your image, you may need to paint off the edge of the original backdrop here because some of them do have a little bit of a glow to them. So I'm just going to go ahead and create a layer mask on there real quick and use a soft black brush at 100% opacity. I'm just going to brush off that bottom right there. Okay, and now you can add any adjustments to the layer that you want to add. It is a little bit bright, so I want to just bring down the brightness on it. I'm going to go ahead and use a brightness contrast adjustment layer, and I'm going to click this right here, this clipping mask, so that it only applies to my overlay and not my image. And then I'm going to drive down the brightness on that. Okay, that looks good. And now if I wanted just the brightness down on the smoke and I wanted it to kind of be on the box here, I'm just going to brush off the mask a little bit on the box there. So I mostly wanted to bring down the brightness of the smoke. Okay, and then I would just zoom in, check your layers. You can use this layer mask up here and switch between your white and your black brush to brush on and brush off around the edge of your image if you need to do that. You can add blur to the overlay as well, just so it's not so sharp compared to your image, but I do think these ones look really cool left as is. It just kind of adds a cool element to the photo. I almost never not add blur to overlays when I use them, but I do think these ones look really cool without it, but it's completely personal preference. If you did want to click on your overlay layer and add blur, you just have to go over to filter, blur, and Gaussian blur, and then as you can see, it'll add as much blur as you want to that, but I'm going to leave it as is. It's a 40 pack, so there's plenty of them ones to choose from. I tried to do a variety of different shapes in different colors. There's some blues in there, there's some golds, but you can turn any of them whatever color you want. If you click on your overlay layer, add a hue saturation layer, and make sure that clipping mask is selected, and then just drag your hue slider, you can change the color of it to whatever you want. But I'm gonna leave it at this gold to match the dress on the subject. And that's it. Pretty simple to use, and I think these ones look really cool. If you have any questions, please feel free to send me a message. If you want more free tutorials like this one, please be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel to be notified when I add more videos.